Greetings, citizens of the Earth. This is a message from Anonymous. This transmission is to inform you about the ongoing struggle against oppression in Colombia, and our operations in the region to help the activists on the ground. For far too long the people of Colombia have been overworked and overtaxed, and the money that has been taken from their paychecks has not helped to create a social safety net or provide for basic public services. Instead, it was used to create a militaristic police state to keep the people in line. This was still not enough for the regime of President Iván Duque, whose government recently proposed a massive tax hike that would increase taxes on many of the workers in the country. The proposed measure sparked protests across the country, and the police were quickly unleashed on the large crowds that had gathered to oppose the action. The Ministry of Defense has deployed 47,500 uniformed personnel countrywide. In Cali alone, 700 soldiers, 500 riot police officers, 1,800 other police, and 2 helicopters were patrolling the protests, according to Geo News. The Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights voiced profound shock on Tuesday at a clash in Cali where police reportedly opened fire on demonstrators, killing and injuring several people. At least 19 protesters have been reported dead after the confrontation with police. Human rights advocates from around the world have been speaking out in support of the protests and condemning the actions of the Colombian government. Anonymous has also begun several operations in support of the Colombian people. Anonymous affiliates on the ground in Colombia were the first to report that the government cut off the internet to large sections of the city in Cali during the protests. The Twitter page for Anonymous Op Colombia has been publishing a steady flow of video evidence, showing blatant police brutality and murder against peaceful protesters. In addition to raising awareness about what is taking place in the streets, Anonymous affiliates in Colombia have also claimed that they successfully hacked the military. An anonymous source in the region claimed, the armed forces of Colombia, they have been infiltrated. Collective panic will be the strategy of fear to blame others for the same massacres perpetrated by the police and the Army of Colombia. The Army Wikipedia pages were also altered to describe the soldiers as murderers. Duque's government has denied that the police or security forces are responsible for the deaths that took place during the demonstrations. Instead, Duque blamed the murders on armed protesters who he claimed had infiltrated the protests to cause chaos. Likewise, Defense Minister Diego Molano said the violence was systematic, premeditated and financed by criminal organizations. In response to the protests, the government has withdrew the proposed tax increase that caused the unrest. However, roughly half of the population still lives in poverty, and the country has seen a massive economic decline in recent years, so it is very possible that this could be a spark point in a larger movement for freedom and equality in Colombia. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. Expect us.